an interesting conversation, isn't it? Who makes it into the list of the best under-23 players in world football? We've kind of broken them down into two categories. We're going to start with the headliners. These are the names that roll off the tongue. You ask any football fan in the world, these are the people they're going to come up with pretty much first. Lamine Yamal, crazy to think he's only 18. What a player. Florian Wirtz, Jude Bellingham, and Pedri as well. But when we talk about some of the other players, Cole Palmer and Nico Williams, these are maybe not names that would fly off the tongue quite as quickly as some of those others, but when you compare how important they are to their teams when there aren't quite so many stars in the Chelsea lineup or the Athletic Club lineup, that they are potentially even more important in, as we're saying, they're carrying their teams to victory. If you took them out of the team, would their team be anywhere near as good? And it is a really, really interesting question. We're going to start by talking about Nico Williams. The big talk over him over the past few weeks was that decision. Would he go to Barcelona or would he stay at the Athletic Club? In the end, for whatever reason, he's decided to stay. Do you think he made the right call for his career?
It's a tough one because I do think that next step, going to Barcelona, would have put him on the map even more. It would have put him maybe in that headliners category. But at the same time, he would have had to compete for that spot. I mean, Rafinha on that one wing, Lamine Yamal on the other wing, Lewandowski. So it wouldn't have been just as simple as coming into the team and getting a starting role. Would have had to compete, maybe play some games, maybe play more of a squad role player. At Bilbao, he is the star, right? It's, first of all, where he's from, obviously the northwest of Spain. But also, he has to be on the pitch for Athletic Club to have success. He is clearly a superstar at this club. I would have liked to see him go to Barcelona because I think, like I said, it would have taken him to the next level. But I understand staying home, staying where he's going to be the superstar and be able to shine in front of the world still, because he's still playing in La Liga, still playing for one of the top clubs in La Liga. But man, it would have been cool to see him in a Barcelona shirt, along with Lamine Yamal after they won the Euros a couple of seasons ago, and then to be able to play together on the same team, I think would have been great for the Spanish national team and also just for us as fans to be able to watch that Barcelona side. I understand why he stayed. Would have been cool to see him in Barcelona.
Certainly would have been. And a huge deal for Athletic Club as well to keep him on their team and with him in it. What do you think the goals are for them next season to build on some of the success they've had in the last couple of seasons?
I mean, I think their goal is to get top four. Their goal is to get into to be able to be in the Champions League, to get to that top four, to be in the upper echelon of Spanish football. Not as easy. Not easy as said. Remember, this is a club that only has players from this region of Spain. That they don't go out and they don't buy players from other regions. They stay within their region to be able to get it. So it's massive. I think top four needs to be their goal. Whether that's attainable, I'm not really sure. But has to be the goal. Because you kept Nico Williams, you have to make sure to get top four to continue to maybe make him even stay longer than just this season.
I was going to say, that was going to be my next question, was if they don't finish inside the top four or enjoy that kind of success that we saw last season, is that good night for Nico Williams? He might not necessarily go to Barcelona, but do you think he's going to, for the progression of his career and at his age as an under-23 player, he's getting to that point? Because that's the interesting thing with all of these players, and you know, Yamal, you can put it out of that, but players around the age of 22, 23, if you talk about 25, 26 being the peak of your career, this is the moment where you have to really make it rain in terms of money and performances as well. That if he isn't able to do that at the Athletic Club this season, then he's going to look elsewhere.
I mean, I think he has to. If they're not able to get into top four, not able to win anything, I think he has to make the next move next year. Athletic Club did protect themselves, right? Giving him a little bit of a contract extension, having now a little bit of a financial protection in the event that he does leave. It will be for a larger fee now that his contract's a little bit larger. So I do think that they're protecting themselves. In the event that they don't make it and they do have to sell him, their fee will be higher. So they're protecting themselves in that aspect. But still, the goal has to be to make top four to keep him as long as possible at your club.
Yeah, he's a player that's got to be playing at that Champions League level. Yep. Another player who's got to be playing at that Champions League level, and we will be watching across our network in the Champions League this coming season, is Cole Palmer. We saw exactly what he could do at the Club World Cup with those goals in the final. What for you is special about this player?
I feel like he reads the game so well, and I think that's maybe a little bit underrated. And maybe last year when he was a bit inconsistent towards the end of the season, maybe wasn't reading it as well. The talent we know is there. That left foot is magical. He some of the balls he puts into the box, not even the shots on goal, just some of the balls he puts into the box from that right side almost reminds me a little bit of what Messi likes to do, right? Where he just kind of chips it over to the other side, to the other winger coming in. He does a lot of that. And of course, he has the shot. We know, see it, 18 goals last year, 12 assists, won those 2 trophies, and he's got 5 goals and assists in both finals. So he is a player that in clutch situations has shown up for Chelsea. It's wondering to think of, too, if Pep Guardiola is maybe regretting that sale from Manchester City to Chelsea. Said last year they probably could have used a player like Cole Palmer.
And he produced those numbers with I'm not going to say large part, but a portion of the season where he was completely absent. And I think that goes back to our initial point when we've got the 2 categories of player. If you take Cole Palmer, or if you've got him in the team, you know, if you take him out because he's injured, or you've got him in the team and he's not playing that well, he affects the way that Chelsea play, and you know, he is the guy that makes them tick more so than some of those other players where, you know, if you took, I don't know, a Pedri or even Yamal out of Barcelona, they still probably would win quite a lot of games, wouldn't they?
Without a doubt. It's interesting, though, because we have high expectations for Cole Palmer, and he's shown that he can do it at the highest level. But those moments of inconsistency, like what did happen at the end of last season? Was it the teammates around him? Was it himself just not having confidence anymore? Is there a situation where that type of drought can happen again to a player like this? And like you mentioned, if he has another drought like that, Chelsea can go from being a top 4 team to not having any success this season because he is so important to that team. I do think that this is a better Chelsea team this season than what he had with him last season, so that will benefit him.
But I think particularly in the Champions League next season, that if he's not playing well or is injured, that fear factor is hugely removed from this Chelsea side. A bit like you know, Newcastle, they managed to keep Alexander Isak. If Isak is playing, you fear Newcastle. If he's not playing, he removes that huge element from them.
Yeah, and that's the same situation, I think, with Cole Palmer. Even with the players that they've brought in this year, I still think that you take Cole Palmer out of this team, and other teams are, okay, this is a beatable side. This is a team that we can go out and beat even at Stamford Bridge. So they need him to be at the top level to have the type of success that they want, to continue to win trophies, to continue the success that they had at the Club World Cup. They need him to be at that level. I won't say that I'm fearful that it might happen again, but it did happen just, 6, 7 months, not less than that, 4 months ago, where he was in a goal drought and he wasn't having the same type of performances that he did early in the season. And Chelsea suffered there for a bit, able to get it back and to get to top 4, which was massive for them. But like you said, it needs to prove this season that he needs to have a full season, beginning to end, be a consistent player. Don't need to score 25 goals from that position, but be able to be a player that just contributes week in, week out, stay healthy, and perform for Chelsea to have success.
We gave you some ideas there, but we've asked you to pick your top 5 players in world football at the age of 23 or younger.
Yes.
Who are you going for?
Well, I've got most of the ones that we have here. I did leave out Nico Williams. I think he's just a notch under them. The number, don't pay attention to the numbers. This is in no particular order. I do think Lamine Yamal is the most excitable player right now. He is 18 years old and he's doing it, and it's incredible stuff. Jude Bellingham, we know it's insane to think he's still 20 years old. He feels like he's been there forever at this point.
And also talking about missing him, because he's not available till October, hasn't he? He's had shoulder surgery, might come back for the first El Clasico. But that will be intriguing to see how this Real Madrid team copes without him, how good they are without him or not. It's going to be very telling.
Florian Wirtz, I truly believe, and this is before he signed with Liverpool, I truly believe that he could be one of the best number 10s in the world in the next couple of seasons. I think moving to Liverpool will even help him even more if he's able to have success in the Premier League. Pedri, probably the best center mid, number 8 in the world, and really continue to move up those ranks. And Cole Palmer, I think, because we've mentioned just how good he can be for Chelsea, and his ceiling we're not even close to being there yet, and he's 23 years old. So I do think he's a player that deserves to be on this list. It's interesting. Another player, a couple of just honorable mentions. Arda Güler, I think, is another player to watch as well, because for Real Madrid, he's going to have a lot of success. Nico Williams is one to look at as well. And depending on the injury, Jamal Musiala also deserves to be in an honorable mention.
That's a good point.
But we know his injury is also could be a longer injury as well. We don't know exactly how long he will be out, but is another honorable mention for sure.
Yeah, it's a good shout. I mean, hard to disagree with you there. I mean, I think Nico Williams and Cole Palmer, for me, if we are to sort of rank them, they're so close. I think Pedri's the one that some people might be like, oh, well, what is the he's the one that's more difficult to judge, because what you see with him is not always what you get. It's what he contributes in terms of that holding role, the way that he makes the other players tick around him, whereas the others you can really measure on goals and assists. And
right, and that's the issue, just because he's a central midfield player, just not an attacking goal scorer. But what he does at his job, the job that he has to do for Barcelona, I think he does better than most center midfielders in the world.